Alright, I do kind of want to make sure that we make sure Volition is coming in good.
Yeah.
But that should be fine. Discord's pretty loud. Yo! Hello! I can literally not hear you, Volition. What are you saying, sir? It's time to slam. It's not time to be quiet.
Welcome in, Ghost King, King of the Ghosts. What sort of video game are you planning to play for us today?
Oh, we have a treat for you. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ghostking, and I will be playing Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, which is basically the the closest equivalent to Mad Libs, the RPG you're going to get this side of Metopia. There's a whole lot I could say about this game, but, like, I think a lot of this game speaks for itself. Is the game live?
Sure appears to be live.
Nice.
Well, I think you can go ahead and get us going with the canon here. I need to know all about the story of Hoops Barkley, is that right?
Yes, it's Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, aka Barkley. Tales of Games Studios presents Chef Boyardee's Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Chapter 1 of the Hoops Barkley saga. This is a very culturally relevant game. This game wasn't culturally relevant when it came out, and there's a part of it that clearly has not aged well, but we'll get into that shortly. Alrighty, I'm gonna just 1 second here. We'll be ready to start here in a moment. I'll give the countdown when I'm ready to go. We got a little ahead of schedule, so I apologize for the delay. I just got off of work not too long ago. So, you know, everyone has to be a responsible adult before they're ready to slam. So, alright, I'll go ahead and give the countdown. If you're all ready, Wormtalon?
I believe he is good to go.
Okay. Alrighty. So, on count of 3, gotta enable Victorian Steampunk mode, and that is where the run starts. Poke my mic. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, begin. So, the game that I'm about to demonstrate before you all is in fact canon, and if you're wondering canon as to what, the answer is yes. Alright, so first I need to go up to this guy. You'll see we're playing on Victorian Steampunk mode, and what Victorian Steampunk mode does is it slightly changes characters' names. They're already a little bit more ridiculous. I'll use their default names, but also changes their character sprites, such as giving Charles Barkley a top hat. Which, yes, the main character of this game is Phoenix Suns' great basketball player, Charles Barkley. If you're unfamiliar with the NBA, just know that he is a really good basketball player, with a bit of a he kind of spent most of his career being kind of a villain type guy. He talked a lot of trash. And this is just a really, really goofy game. So we have QuickTime events because, you know, every game from this era had QuickTime events. If you want to get into the story of this game, basically the story of this game is Charles Barkley lives in 2050 in post-Neo New York City, after having destroyed all of New York City by unleashing the Chaos Dunk during a basketball game, which killed 8 million people in the city of New York. And so naturally when you see like a game called Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam, you know, the genre that you think is, oh, this is going to be totally an RPG, which is in fact what this video game is. So I'm grabbing a bunch of things because I need to sell these later. I need to buy a B-Vault here because items in this game make total sense. And we are currently going through the basketball catacombs to escape from Michael Jordan, who is a high-ranking police officer who connects us to an evil terrorist agency called Blood Moses. And so here we're reuniting with our good friend, the grandson of basketball legend LeBron James, Balthios James, who is a magic spellcaster, swordsman guy. I don't know, this game is weird. But it's also canon. So, the main strat on the B-Ball monster here is to hit him really hard with the strongest attacks that I have, which are Ice Zaubers, which is the German word for magic, and Charles Barkley's double team, where he splits himself up and throws a basketball at something. And I miscast there. Whoopsies. That's not a big deal. But you'll notice that Charles Barkley is using a soccer ball. And this is because basketballs are banned in this world, because by unleashing the Chaos Dunk, all the B-ballers were killed in the Purge. So yes, this is canon. Yes, I'm sorry, it is BLOODMOSES. You do have to spell it out, because it is one very long acronym. So the Barkley sprite is in fact from the game Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, which this is meant to be a spiritual successor, even though it is a canonical sequel to Space Jam. And in fact, the story behind this game is that the developers of this game were reading Michael Jordan's Wikipedia page, and there was discussion over whether or not Space Jam was canon. And nobody explained exactly canon to what. So they just decided, okay, this game is canon. Or, sorry, that Space Jam is canon. So they decided that this game is canon. And I'm getting pretty unlucky here. I made one little mistake, and this fight can really drag on. Kind of depends on whether or not I can make this shot, because Charles Barkley was not the best free thrower, and it shows in the gameplay. So, as you can see with this glorious animation here that was lovingly, you know, created for this game, because everything in this game is completely original. Anything that you see from, or hear from another game was in fact stolen from this game. And so we just picked up a robot, which is a cyborg of famous basketball player Vince Carter, who is, I believe, currently the longest, has the longest career of any active NBA player. He's still out there playing b-ball. Okay, so now we're in the sewers, which are full of a bunch of Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters and possibly furries. I'm still not sure. But anyways, here is the Gear Dwarf, or as his actual name is, Cyber Dwarf. And Cyber Dwarf is an alien from space who crash-landed. I actually don't remember exactly what the deal was with him, but basically his face burned off and had to literally graft a basketball to his face. So the story right now is we are confronting Michael Jordan, who has killed the great priest Larry Bird. And he actually controls Vince Carterborg, so he is our son, and we need to defeat him. So this is Michael Jordan, aka Michael Jackson. And this song was stolen in the game Blue Dragon. Also, Michael Jackson learned a thing or two from Bayonetta, as he can shoot with his feet. Okay. Okay, that's not good. This fight can go really, really wrong, and I don't want it to. So... Cyber Dwarf's attacks, you'll notice I have a bunch of quick time events. You can implement punches, kicks, or some special commands, but they're a little janky. Surprisingly, this game does not get muted. Despite all the music from this game that other games claim copyright to. This game does not actually get its VOD muted, and I missed the last kick there. Oh, this is bad. I need to keep at least one of these steroids alive. I might have to soft reset here if I'm unable to kill him. This is probably the hardest fight of the run. As you can see, he does a lot of damage. I also made a mistake leading into this fight, but it seems to be going well enough beyond that. That's not good. Cyberdwarf is dead. Okay. Well, we win. It's not great because Cyberdwarf is dead. I really want my allies alive. But he's about the least useful party member here. So we get our son back, who is aptly named Hoops Barkley, and may or may not have been lovingly ripped from a certain Streets of Rage game for the Genesis. Okay, so sell 1, 2, 3. I'm just selling stuff. This would be a good time to read donation if there is any.
If there is any, Ghostking. Why? We have several. We have $50 from All-in-One Mighty, who says, "Hello, Ghostking.
Hi, Mighty.
Seeing you run again at this marathon is a delight. Good luck on the run from San Francisco. This donation goes towards the other game that you run.
Yay!
To normal difficulty in Memories of Calcutta. I think that we just met the incentive, and we did. So thank you very much, All-in-One Mighty."
Thank you, Mighty.
We also have $1 from Shawnee7188.
Yes, I notice you, Shawnee.
It says, "Donating to get Ghostking Senpai to notice me." He already did, and then this donation is now canon.
Okay. So text is a little awkward in this game. You might see me accidentally repeat text a couple times, and that's because it doesn't buffer very well. Also, these truck pumps have really funny things that they all say, and it's worth it just to play this game for the script, because it is actually one of the funniest things I have ever seen. Because everything in this game is nonsensical, whether you like RPGs, whether you like basketball, or just video games in general. But the truck pumps are like, they read out like forum posts from people who take video games way too seriously. Anyways, so the story here is we are escaping to the sewers because Michael Jordan Jackson is trying to get after us, and we need to see a guy by the name of Dr. Allard. Unfortunately, his bodyguard down here, we will not actually be seeing Dr. Allard. That's only at 100%, because this is any percent, not 100%. We'll only be dealing with his bodyguard here. So we decide that we're just going to fight his bodyguard. This is another pretty hard fight. Also, we have Hoops Barkley in our party, and he's the fastest character and does a pretty consistent amount of damage with his gun slay ability. So that's nice. So this guy is really, really terrible. He does a lot of damage, and he has an attack called Combination, which will one-hit kill my party members, and I currently don't have revival items, which if you haven't noticed are steroids. Don't do drugs, kids. Yeah, a lot of the things in this game are just a little ridiculous, if you haven't already noticed. But they're all canon. Okay, Goad right there is a really good attack because it does absolutely nothing. Dang, I only got one hit off of that. Payback is not a good move to see here. You'll notice I'm going to be safety saving a lot in this game, and that's because the first 5 bosses of this game are all potential run killers. Like that. This guy doesn't end runs too often, but he is still a threat. Okay, well he killed me, so it's a good thing I saved. But now we get to watch the death animation, which is something. When's the sequel? It'll happen. They are working on it, but unfortunately they ran out of budget, so they've had to kind of finance it out of pocket. Careful here. You gotta actually get down these stairs. So, you might also notice that, like, sometimes I'll accidentally repeat text. You have to hold down the Z key to advance text, but it's not always 100% consistent, like, when you stop. And only certain cutscenes in this game can be skipped, so I have to kind of know when those come up. You also see me doing a stutter step here. That is actually the fastest form of movement whenever I run out of my sprint meter. Okay, Headbuster's not good. Lowers my damage output on this guy. What game is this? This game is Barkley, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, the most video game of all time. Ow. Come on, Cyberdwarf, hit something. Okay, he's gonna kill Hoops here. I don't actually want to revive anyone here because this guy isn't worth enough experience to be worth doing that. And revival items in this game are scarce early on. Also, Balthios has a skill that he can use to slow enemies down, which actually really helps. There we go, he's dead. I don't know, it's from whatever sprite that some other game ripped off. I'm actually not even sure if that is a sprite in something else or just like a completely original sprite. So we need to head down to Proto-Neo New York, which existed before Neo New York. Also, we miss all this quick time events on purpose because it's faster. So we need to accept a monster quest because this area is being attacked by a villain called Ghostking. Has no relationship to me. And as you'll see very quickly, Ghostking is a fight that has aged extremely poorly. I'm not even going to comment on it. I'll leave it to the imagination on that one. But just know that it is the worst boss in the game. He can inflict me with all sorts of really annoying status effects. And I need to be ready for him. So, monster quest accepted. So, Ghostking is basically a reference to an extremely bad movie from the 80s. Very forgotten, that I almost feel like the people who made this game I think they just wanted to reference something really obscure and awful that maybe like 3 people would get. But this is one of the worst fights in the game. Okay, so also status effects in this game are all based on things that affect actual basketball players, such as glaucoma, Parkinson's, the works, basically. Alrighty, so I bought several B-Paul tiers a while ago. That's not good. So, tobacco is the cure-all, go figure, in this game. One sec. I need B-ball tiers. The one I really want to watch out for is Parkinson's, which, yeah, I apparently missed who got hit with that, so Cyberdwarf there just did no damage. Oh, he's dead. There's also Montezuma's Revenge, and my personal favorite is Diabetes, which is actually poison in this game. Again, they were just I don't know what they were thinking with this game. Okay. Once we get done with this guy, we'll have the hard part of the run out of the way. So... oh no. Everybody's dying, make it stop. Here I can just afford to use this. Okay. Hoops is my main powerhouse here, so... alrighty, Ghost Dad down. That's a lot of experience, so this will hopefully help Cyber Dwarf catch up. Yes, this is a video game that exists. In fact, you can purchase this game for the low cost of $0.00. Alrighty, so... I'm going to give 2 warnings here. 1, I'm going to give a seizure warning because flashing lights, and 2, I'm going to warn you that my bitrate is going to absolutely die in this ensuing cutscene. So, you have been warned. This game's worth the playthrough. It's about a 5-hour, like, single-sitting, just casual game. It's a lot of fun to speedrun. Like, there's enough randomness to it all that kind of makes it a little awkward, but I actually really enjoy speedrunning this game. Partly because on stream I get to introduce people to this game, which is my favorite thing about it. Alrighty, so now the bed is free. And we learn the ability of Ghost Muscle, which is really useful. And I accidentally buffered an input, so I have to say no. I'm gonna save here. Alright, so the next destination is the Spalding factory, which if you're unfamiliar with Spalding, they make about like 80-something% of the world's basketballs. I don't know why I wasn't moving there. So we need to head in there and get some information. Okay. Also, Charles Barkley here is going to learn that he absolutely hates keys. Okay. I'll be careful of this guy, wait till he turns around, and then go here. So we need to look for 3 keys, a green, a yellow, and a red one. Here we get the red one. Yeah, a lot of the routing in this game is just dodging enemies. You don't ever have to actually fight any enemies to level up. So... it's kind of the nice thing about this game. It's a very quick-paced RPG. Okay, so now we have unlocked the chicken fry, and I'll have enough money for that later. So chicken fries are this game's basically full heal item. They fully heal status, health, and MP, which is why they're really expensive. If you have never been to a Burger King, you will probably not understand why exactly chicken fry is life, but I encourage you to go to your nearest Burger King and try one out sometime. So the funny thing is, actually, this game's soundtrack, most of it is original. I was surprised to learn this when I looked in the game files. Alrighty, so escaping here because I've pulled enemy aggro, and also I want to talk to this guy who's a Square Enix Goya representative. I picked up an item in a trash can that I am giving to him for 2,500 Neo Shekels, which is this game's currency, because that's a thing. And then I want to buy as many chicken fries as I can, because they're the most useful item in the game. And so this guy, we've seen him around the factory a couple times. He's actually a ghost, and we keep getting cutscenes that I keep skipping of us finding out that he was actually a ghost and he died 12 years ago. So we finally tell him that he is a ghost, and he thanks us for releasing his spirit, and so he is departed to the afterlife. So the boss of this place is a man by the name of Scott Creelman, who I have never been able to find a picture of, but the real-life equivalent was the CEO of Spalding Factory from, like, 2010 2010 to 2004 to like 2011, which unfortunately he passed away after the making, like a couple years after the making of this game. So he's still in this game. Ghost Muscle. This is just general power buff on Barkley. The attack I really want to watch out for is Kamikaze Jam, where he just does something and then I die. He kind of just flips around, slams into me, and then one of my party members dies, which is no bueno. Okay, he never did Kamikaze Jam, which is good because I want everyone to live in this battle. Okay. Oh, what? Dang, I really didn't have enough to kill him there. So, I say that I want everyone to live, but it actually doesn't matter if Hoops dies here, because Hoops is about to leave my party anyway, and he'll come back later at a fixed level. No, this happened years after this game came out. So we're going to skip a cutscene, and Michael Jordan has infected our son with diabetes and kidnapped him, so we need to go save our son and cure his diabetes. Actually, no, I don't think he gets kidnapped. I think he just gets infected with diabetes, and we need to figure out how to cure him. So we need to go off to the Island of Liberty, and there's two ways to get to the Island of Liberty. One is by a ship, which is longer, and the other is by a train. Okay. I actually don't remember these inputs, so I want to keep my notes here. This would be really bad if I were to die here. Okay, because there's a sequence of quick-time events. If I fail 2 quick-time events, I die. Yeah, he just throws a syringe at our son, and then our son suddenly gets diabetes. Alright, I can fail that first QuickTime event because I didn't fail any of the previous ones, and it's slightly faster to just hold down the text advance key. Yeah, so this is the Underground Railroad. So right here, I just have to advance all text, and Cyberdwarf figures out that it's the last one on the train thing to uncouple the car that has a bomb planted on it. So that QuickTime event is much longer than the battles you would have to do to take the ship. But now we're on Liberty Island. So before moving on, I need to go get the stone rock, and as you'll notice, everything I interact with here has prompts of examine, use, or take, and that's just because... Oh, by the way, it's the Statue of Liberty. You might notice a difference here. I don't see it. Some people tell me it looks different than what they expect. Like I said, this game is RPG Mad Libs. So yeah, I have to, like, manually input everything on there, and I think that's like an homage to old text-based RPGs. So I need to talk to this guy who's asking us for... who we're asking about to look for an old man. We're going to try and take the pipe, but we need to actually ask this guy for permission. And then we're going to take the pipe. So, apparently using a pipe and a rock that I picked up earlier is enough to move a boulder. And this guy gives us a key, but he asks us to, in exchange, to go kill the guy that we just got the pipe from. Of course, he's not there, and then he's going to basically trap us in here and flood the building with sugar. Or a poison gas. There's a lot of sugar in here. I always forget about this sequence. But it stops and his plan fails. So, we need to go over here, examine the table, take the screwdriver. Oops. God, these inputs are throwing me off here. Pry open the desk to get the key, to get the note. And then we have to enter a password here of 1232, and we are through. Before we proceed, we need to go back to this guy who is now dead. But he has an item called the Chaff Grenade, which is a useful skill that Cyber Dwarf will have for the rest of the game. Wait, I don't save here just yet. Talk to this guy. And this is a cultist, and he's here to tell us of the cult of Yelmirb, who is basically the guy we're here to see. And we also need to learn of the Diabeesti, which is the great beast of diabetes. Alright, so he gives us some money. We're going to go buy some more chicken fries, because chicken fries are life. Use the truck pump here to save, because I'm not taking any chances today. And we need to be careful here. We have a Geiger counter, except instead of measuring radiation, it measures sugar. And if we get too much, we die, because diabetes. I'm pretty sure the developers of this game didn't know what diabetes is actually like, and just kind of used their imagination here. Also jump scare. I didn't give the warning in time. So, we come across a figure we think might be the Diabeesti, but it turns out it's just another cultist named Reginald. This fight's the big reason I wanted the Chaff Grenade. So the fight here is really simple. I'm just going to use the same things I always do. Really want to use my chicken fry here. Alrighty. This fight's pretty self-explanatory. If you got any donations, Village in, now would be a great time.
Well, I have been sitting on $10 from Ozzy889, our illustrious head organizer of the marathon, for a little bit. And he said, Ghostking, you're a good friend. I'm glad I can donate during your run. That said, if you can say something great about the Hugo any percent category, I will donate again. Just any one thing, I think is acceptable.
It's in a good video game. It is a speedrun you can do of an otherwise good video game.
Alright, well, I think that counts, so I believe that we will be needing to see another donation from our friend Ozzy. We'll see. We'll, of course, remind everyone that this is the Cal Fire Relief Marathon 2018 edition. We are here on the main Speed Gaming channel, raising money to support the California Fire Foundation and in support in general of wildfire relief efforts and, of course, the firefighters who participate in those. So, really important cause to most of us organizers of this event personally. And, I mean, Ghostking, you also live here in California, although fortunately you and I, we live in parts of the state where we're a little bit more insulated from wildfires directly.
I swear I was smelling smoke all day too, so I'm like, this kind of appropriate, almost. Alrighty. But yeah, fires suck. Let's do what we can to put them out. Anyways, here's the Diabeesti. It literally eats that guy. We want to see it do the deadly smile. One sec. Muscles on. I actually. No. Whoops, I used the wrong ability there. There we go. Okay, he just straight up killed my ally. That's not good. What in the hell is this? This is Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. I get that question more times than you probably would imagine, except maybe not. Yeah, I messed up there. Ow. Yes, this game is based on a true story. It is, in fact, canon. So, essentially they make this game as like the sequel to Space Jam. which is why the Slam Jam is in this game. In fact, the thing that actually inspired me to play this game and like learn the run was a run done at AGDQ 2014, like many years back, feels like. And they actually had the developers of the game on the couch for that. Alright, so we need to cure our son's diabetes, so we need to come to the only man who knows enough about diabetes to cure it. And that is this man by the name of Wilford Brimley, which, for anyone unfamiliar with Wilford Brimley, he is a man you've probably seen on television talking about the diabetes. He is basically taking the task of taking all the world's diabetes onto himself. Before we can cure our son, we need to take care of Vince Borg here, who's trying to kill us again. Yes, that is the run where he did 100%, and the game crashed in the final sequence, which was a shame because the final sequence of this game is genuinely glorious. Ah, that's no good. No, this is the theme that Blue Dragon stole from this game. Fun fact, the guy from Deep Purple, the legendary classic rock band, was the one who sang this song. Which is a fact that came to such a shock to the developers that if you go in the game's files and see the boss, this particular theme, like underscore eternity, the description for it just says, Jesus Christ, the guy from Deep Purple sang this. No, he's half Vince Carter, half machine. Of course, to be fair, Vince Carter was a bit of a machine himself. Dude could dunk. Alrighty, so we have now cured our son, but Wilford Brimley has taken on too much diabetes and is not long for this world, so press F to pay respects. I believe the actual Wilford Brimley is still alive, too. So, don't worry, there's no real-life equivalent there. It's getting up there, but he's still around. Alright, so now we need to go to Cuchulain's tomb, which I may be pronouncing that wrong. I'm not very good in Irish, because RPGs. And it is here that our 4 party members will be tempted by their own inner desires. What will become of this? Well, you will see. So this screen is kind of awful. I need to hit 4 switches. And watch out for these mice that are moving around. Which, if you fight them, it turns out they're all succubi, banshee things. Like, the sprites are straight, like, ripped from Disgaea. And yet they're on the overworld as rats. Go figure. I don't want this to happen because getting into encounters really sucks. No, you gotta get like the phlegm in there because like Irish, like the or I don't know. I don't know my phonetics. I don't know anything. I play the video game. They might be Shining Force rats. I haven't actually played that far into Shining Force. I totally should. Yeah, Disgaea totally stole the sprites from this. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking. So I really didn't want to aggro that guy, but I have a means of dealing with him. There we go. Nice. superb dodging skills, and I did make sure to heal. Just wanted to make sure. Alrighty, so in the next screen, all 4 of our party members are going to get split up. Balthios is going to get into a gauntlet where he fights several enemies who may or may not have been ripped off from this game. So, movie from the 90s called RoboCop, like, ripped this guy off, basically. Did I say Irish? I am stupid. He's somewhere in the British Isles. So this guy may have been ripped off from this little Bungie developed game called Halo. Yeah, Bungie ripped something off from this game. You know that you made something good when Bungie rips your stuff off. You also see me using Thunder Magic here, which is actually really effective at killing single targets, but it's not the best use of magic, so it kind of stopped getting used after this area. And then there's this guy, the Greek warrior, and I need to heal. So, all those glorious animation frames. Ice Sauber. Dang. Every now and then he does an attack called Rebel Yell, which is definitely worth definitely worth watching a run to see him do Rebel Yell, because it is glorious. I think it's literally one of the developers just yelled into the mic. Yeah. Okay, so now we need to play as Cyberdwarf, and he has a bit of a puzzle where he has to throw sand to eliminate a like the traversable traversable area. Whoops, I am messing this up. Yeah, if you fall off, you have to restart, basically. I mean, I know the solution already, so you have to go down here, taking this a little slow, and then here we go. That was the toughest puzzle I've ever seen. Here we play as Hoops, and we need to go left, up, left, right. Whole bunch of your classic RPG puzzles here. Pocket sand. Yes, it is just sand. You just throw sand to eliminate where you can go and where you can't. And so, everyone else gets tempted with their greatest desire, and they all refuse. Barkley gets tempted with what his greatest desire is, which, bear in mind, in this game, he did just lose his wife to the purge of the B-ballers at the beginning, where all the B-ballers was killed. But no, he's just being tempted here by by ink and gold. That is all that this man desires, is the ink and gold. Okay. Not gonna sit through any more of that. So, everyone says that they have not been tempted by anything. Of course, Barkley was, so he gets separated from the group. Gonna buy off some chicken fries here, and then we got one last boss here. So, who else to fight at the end of the Cuchulain's tomb, but one last boss here. A generic enemy from the first dungeon of the game. You know, I just noticed that money was ripped off in Terranigma. Terranigma ripped this game off. Alrighty, so skip all that, and we are done with Cuchulain's tomb. Now we need to go off and finally confront Michael Jordan once and for all. So we are at endgame. It's going to be pretty tight on the estimate. Okay. So we need to go find Cyberdwarf's ship, and then head on up to face Michael Jordan. Before that, we have one last encounter with Vince Borg. But he finally realizes his purpose is not to kill Barkley, and he shuts himself down. Press F to pay respects. He was a good man. Robot thing. I don't think I need to save, but I might as well. Okay. Is this Chrono Trigger 2? It may as well be. So, we need to face Michael Jordan in a one-on-one battle set to the greatest song ever put to a video game, Sweet Georgia Brown. Hate to use this now, but I need to. Yes, this is what happened in the 1992 Olympics. The one-on-one battle between Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan Jackson. You'll also notice that my double team hits twice, which is actually a product of the weapon that I got in the last dungeon. Which makes double team hit twice. All of Charles Barkley's attacks hit twice, so he is now finally the strongest member of my party. And Michael Jordan Jackson finally bites the bullet and dies. He's gone for good this time. So we have one last enemy to face who is behind all of this. In fact, it is I, but it is the dark side of me, Shadow Barkley, who is the true ending villain of this game. So this fight has two phases, and this was the absolute worst thing I could have seen at the start of this fight. That's not good. So, somebody, and by you all I mean one person in particular, donated for the next boss's theme, which there is two phases to this fight. Okay, chicken fry. Oh no, he's healing. That's not good. Thankfully I hadn't actually done a whole lot yet, so... Aww. This fight's not going good. It's not very nice. I think we might be going a little overestimate, but that sounds about right, honestly.
Saving the marathon for Ghostking.
1 minute at a time. So I promised I would donate $1 for every minute off my PB. My PB is $39.34, so... Okay. This isn't too bad, because it means I get to be ready and fully healed for the next fight. But I don't have a lot of chicken fries to work with, which is not good. Alrighty. So now we need to face the true form of Shadow Barkley. And somebody donated for this song, so I'm gonna shut up on it. This fight explains itself. I just need him to not use Doomfire, which would actually probably kill me and force me to have to try this again. Okay, double team. I did the wrong input there. Oopsies. The remix of this called is Slam Enza Remix Cornered Slam Jam from Ace Attorney by the Cadenza group. Alrighty, so get ready on time because the final hit is time, coming up pretty soon. This fight does not take this long that often. I've gotten really lucky in that he hasn't done Doomfire Gaze again. That attack instant kills 2 people and is really not good. Okay. Alright, this should kill. Time. Okay. Woo, that might be the worst run I've done of this game in a while. I thought I was more ready than this, but stuff kept happening, stuff went wrong. Some out of my control, some under my control, but thanks all so much for watching. I do like this game, I do recommend this game. But...
You're watching Chaos Dunk, right?
Oh, there's no way in hell we aren't. Alrighty, so... Cyberdwarf and our son leave in the escape pod, leaving Charles to defeat the evil in the only way that he can. So I'm gonna stay silent because this sequence kind of explains itself. Let's just say this entire game explains itself. Except it doesn't, because it doesn't make sense. Alrighty. Brace yourselves for impact. Also flashing light warning, just in case. It is time to unleash the Chaos Dunk one last time, and use it for good this time. Alrighty. And that is Barkley, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Chapter 1 of the Hoops Barkley Saga. I hope we do eventually get to. It does look legitimately cool. Alrighty. Which... I'm trying to remember what the name of the song that they remixed for the Slam Jam here. Whatever, you can find it on YouTube. Yeah, so everything you've watched was canon. But as for me, I just hope you all enjoyed. This is a goofy game. I like this game. Sorry about going over estimate, although it seems we were ahead of a schedule enough that I put us back on. Yeah, you'll Alrighty. But so with that, I'm gonna be gone for the next 2.5 hours maybe. Music Nobuo Uematsu. They're not wrong. He did compose Blue Dragon. And everything else was composed by Chef Boyardee. As in, that's the guy's actual username, is Chef Boyardee. Yeah, so I will be back later for East Memories of Salceda, a more serious video game than this one. Definitely stay tuned for that. I believe the next run is... What is the next run, anyways? I know there's Undertale before mine, and then there's also...
I have got your back on this one, Ghostking. We have, coming up next, Mirror's Edge.
Yo, that's gonna be sick.
That'll be an any percent run by Nikos Studios, so please stick around for that. We do also have Undertale by Duke Firebird coming up after that, and then Ghostking's Use run. Use why?
I got it.
Yes.
I have to put up with Ozzy making these jokes. It's bad enough with that.
Oh, hey, speaking of Ozzy, do you want to hear the follow-up donation?
Yes.
It was $10 from Ozzy889, and he says, "Fine, I will accept this response for a good cause. But the correct answer was that Hugo is a well-balanced character with a rich, deep backstory with absolutely no drawbacks whatsoever."
I don't think I would have guessed that one. Alrighty.
Well, on behalf of all of the CAL FIRE staff, Ghostking, I would just like to wish you G.
Thank you, Voligen. And I'll be back in about 2 hours, then some change. 2.5. I don't know. What even is time anymore? What is anything anymore?
What is a man?
Alright.
Well, thanks for joining us, Ghosting. We'll see you again in just a little bit. And as for the rest of y'all, stick around for just a few minutes. We're going to get set up for Mirror's Edge with Nikos Studios, and we will be right back. So don't go anywhere.